Ciao Fabri, welcome back in
Ciao
our
guys.
podcast. Today we talk about all the long sagas, all the things that we've been talking basically since the start of the summer that are still happening, still going on. So let's go into the details of that. And the first one of today is about Viktor Gyökeres and Arsenal, which is probably the biggest story of June and now July as well.
Yeah, because this story is still ongoing, and every day we have a new chapter of this saga, basically with the president of Sporting in the last hours to send a very clear message saying that he has no intention to change his position, that eventually the player can stay at Sporting, get a fine, and then in that case say sorry and continue at Sporting. So the position of Sporting is very strong, but I can guarantee to you and to our listeners that what was the feeling also on player side is strong as well. Viktor Gyökeres has no intention to change his position. He wants to go to Arsenal, and also the situation between the two clubs is quite clear. Basically, what Sporting want is 70 million euros plus add-ons to reach around 80 million euros package, but they want at least 70 million euros guaranteed, while Arsenal are offering less than this. Arsenal are around 65 million euros, so it's a small gap, but still a gap, and for sure Arsenal want to maintain their position, Sporting want to maintain their position. It's a really tense situation with the player hoping to resolve this case as soon as possible, but the valuation is still the same for both clubs. So let's wait, let's see. My feeling from what I get from my sources is that this deal is still expected to happen, with the two clubs working on this, working hard on daily basis, also the agents of the player involved in this story, and with Arsenal still slowly getting closer to signing Viktor Gyökeres.
So you're giving us every day the details and also the updates on the story, the player's position, the club position as well. Do we expect the player to be back on training one day, or that's not the case?
No, from what I'm hearing, Gyökeres has been very clear, and he's been also very clear directly with the president, Federico Varandas, sending him direct messages, from what I heard, telling him that he will not show up for training today, tomorrow, next week. In any case, the idea of Viktor Gyökeres is to close Sporting chapter, to say goodbye, and to become an Arsenal player on a 5-year contract. So Gyökeres will not play for Sporting anymore. The player position is very clear. Many can say, okay, Sporting now can go legal, and obviously this can be a point. On the other side, remember that Gyökeres is doing everything and all these kind of things because he feels betrayed by Sporting from the pact they had from last year to leave this summer for 60 million euros plus 10 in add-ons. Arsenal are at 65 million euros now, so Gyökeres is basically saying they are paying what we agreed basically 1 year ago, even more. Why you are not accepting? Sporting say the director who made that pact left the club, Hugo Viana, and so we don't have any paper, anything signed for that gentleman agreement. So that's basically the problem, but I can guarantee that Gyökeres will not show up and will insist to go to Arsenal.
Talking about another saga is about Viktor Osimhen, and basically his was also saga in 2024, now also as well in 2025. Was the latest with Galatasaray and Napoli, and there is a chance for Man United. Many fans are asking this question to hijack the deal potentially.
Look, there was some rumors in the last 24 hours about Manchester United, but I can play these stories down. Basically, what I'm told is that Manchester United are not even in talks with Osimhen or his agents or people close to the deal, because they know that the financial request of Viktor Osimhen is very high. He's on 12 million euros net per season at Napoli as a salary. Galatasaray are offering 16 plus add-ons, so Man United will never pay that salary. So for sure, the story between Man United and Osimhen is not something concrete as of today. What I can tell you on Viktor Osimhen is that Galatasaray keep pushing to get this deal done. They are now offering 40 million euros guaranteed immediately, plus 35 in add-ons. Napoli keep insisting on bank guarantees and also on payment terms details in their favor for this Viktor Osimhen package worth 75 million euros in total, which is the value of the release clause. So the discussion is ongoing next week. So from tomorrow, Napoli and Galatasaray will keep negotiating for Osimhen. There is a feeling that Gala can really push and try to get it done early next week.
Talking about Manchester United and Mbeumo, another big story of the summer, never-ending story with many things happening. What's the feeling about the player side in this story right now?
Yeah, it's obviously not easy to wait that long, because it's more than 30-35 days with Manchester United in negotiations with Brentford. But Bryan Mbeumo, from what I'm told, knows the situation, the real situation between Manchester United and Brentford, knows that Manchester United are doing an important financial effort to sign him, knows that Manchester United remains in advanced talks with Brentford. So Mbeumo at the moment is still pushing to go to Manchester United, insisting to go to Manchester United. His dream is very clear since day one of this summer transfer window. So he's patiently waiting. Again, sometimes it's not easy in the market to wait 30, 40 days for a player, this kind of important player, when you have this opportunity. But what I'm hearing is that Mbeumo remains confident and calm, and that Manchester United in the next days hope to get the final green light and to bring Bryan Mbeumo after Mateus Cunha for Ruben Amorim.
This summer, Manchester United have also to deal with some outgoings, especially of loanees coming back in the summer. One of them is Marcus Rashford. What's the expectation around this player? Do you expect Rashford to leave United this summer?
Yeah, this is not going to change, basically because Rashford got a clear message from the club, from the management, from the staff, from Ruben Amorim. They don't trust him, they don't want him as part of the squad, so Rashford accepted this decision, and now he's waiting to move on, to have a new opportunity elsewhere. So the dream of Marcus Rashford remains Barcelona, that's very clear. Rashford would love to go to Barca. There were already some contacts between his agents and Barcelona early in the transfer window. Then, now basically what's going on is that Rashford keeps insisting to go to Barcelona. He would love to make this deal happen. It's his desire. So this message is arriving in a very clear and strong way to Barcelona. Now it's on Barca to decide, because according to my information, Barcelona have still not decided whether they really want to go for Rashford or for another winger. For example, the dream target remains Luis Diaz, but we know it's a complicated negotiation with Liverpool. It's not easy at all, and Bayern also know that, because both clubs, Barcelona and Bayern, have been interested for weeks in Luis Diaz, but Liverpool keep closing their doors. And so basically what's happening now is that Barca have to decide what they want to do in the next days, in the next weeks. Rashford is waiting, he's hoping to go to Barca, but we still have to be patient, because as of today, Sunday, there is still no negotiation ongoing between Manchester United and Barcelona, no official bid, and so the story remains open.
Madueke and Arsenal is a story, probably one of the biggest stories of the week that's just ended, and many fans were not happy on social media about this transfer. Who wanted these transfers to happen and become a reality?
Yeah, first of all, I want to wish all the best to Noni Madueke, because I think on social media there were many people attacking him. He didn't do anything wrong at all. I still think he's a very good, talented player with room for improvement, still very young. Okay, Arsenal are investing important money, but he's still a player from Chelsea who did well at Chelsea. So I think we have to wait and see what Madueke can do at Arsenal before criticizing him. So let me sympathize and send nice messages to Madueke, because I really think he deserves this chance, this opportunity before being criticized. And then it's also important to say that there are many Arsenal fans who respect this decision, who will back the player, the majority of Arsenal fans for sure. So I still expect Noni Madueke to be fully supported by the real Arsenal fans. Then to say about the deal, my understanding is that Mikel Arteta really wanted to go for Noni Madueke. So at some point of this story, someone said it was a signing by the board, by the management, and not approved, but that's not the truth. Mikel Arteta wanted Noni Madueke. Mikel Arteta spoke several times to Noni Madueke during the negotiation. Arteta is convinced that Madueke can help on both wings, can be a fantastic backup for Saka, but can be also a starter when needed on the left. So they really trust Noni Madueke, and they believe he has big room for improvement. So full trust from the club, same with Mikel Arteta, same with the whole staff. So Arsenal are really convinced. The player is now in London. Tomorrow, Monday, he will complete the final part of the medical and then sign his 5-year contract at Arsenal. Arsenal will pay £48 million plus 4 in add-ons to Chelsea. The deal was done on Thursday night, was an exclusive story, and now is going to be fully confirmed soon.
Another saga of the summer was Carreras and Real Madrid. Any detail into this story?
I can tell you that, according to my information, Alvaro Carreras has already left Lisbon, so just waiting for the final green light to undergo the medical test at Real Madrid, but he has the authorization from Benfica. So now is Real Madrid planning for everything, and next week everything will be formally completed. Alvaro Carreras will be a Real Madrid player, the contract is ready, the transfer fee will be 50 million euros in installments. Everything is agreed between the two clubs, so Alvaro Carreras, after a very long negotiation, more than 1 month, with this story ongoing, he's been patient as well, which is something really important when you have this kind of sagas, and Carreras will be a Real Madrid player. So next week I expect the formal steps to follow.
Talking about Real Madrid, Rodrygo can be one of the hottest names to watch in the coming weeks. What can we expect? What's your feeling about this story?
Yeah, they have to speak, and they will speak. Starting from next week, there will be meetings and talks between Rodrygo's camp and Real Madrid. I don't think it's going to be the only meeting. I expect to be something that we will see on regular basis in the next days and weeks, because Real Madrid and Rodrygo have to decide what they want to do for the future. To see a player of the level of Rodrygo to be and to start on the bench for 5 consecutive games at the Club World Cup was surprising. At the same time, Rodrygo wants to understand what's the plan of Real Madrid. My understanding is Real Madrid are open to letting Rodrygo go, but now Rodrygo has to decide. Real Madrid leave the decision to Rodrygo. He has to decide whether he wants to stay at Real Madrid and compete for his opportunities at the club, or if he wants to go and try something new, maybe in the Premier League. So that's the position of the club. I can guarantee that Rodrygo will not go to Saudi Pro League, so there is no negotiation with Al Nassr, despite the reports. Al Nassr never called for Rodrygo. That's 100% sure. And now for Rodrygo Real Madrid, there will be a discussion to decide what they want to do next, and it's going to be an important one, obviously, for the future of the Brazilian winger.
Last one for today is about our friends of Men in Blazers in the United States, about Inter Miami and Rodrigo, another one, De Paul. It can be a potential new Inter Miami player. What's your feeling in this case about this story?
Very positive, because we've been updating you on every single detail of this and step of this story, but now the agreement is really close between Inter Miami and Atletico Madrid for Rodrigo De Paul. Advancing very well between clubs, the agreement on the fee is almost done, now waiting on some final details to sort between all parties involved, so it's still not a done deal. We have to be patient also in this case. It's a saga as well in the recent weeks, but for sure Rodrigo De Paul wants the move to Inter Miami. Inter Miami are getting closer with Atletico Madrid, and so I think it's going to be a matter of time, and then there is a very good chance to see the here we go coming for Rodrigo De Paul to join Inter Miami and to become basically the confirmation of the idea to have Messi for longer at Inter Miami with his one of his best friends in football, Rodrigo De Paul.
Thank you, Fabrik. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Ciao, guys.